Go.
So today we're going to talk about the value of true information. So exactly what is information? So as you can see, there's many different forms and ways that we get information into our daily lives, but we need to look at what that information is. So information can be different facts. And we know that, especially with President Trump, that we have facts and we have alternative facts, and we need to figure out which ones are the truth. That's why on here we have facts and truth. And we need to just use both of those together to find out what information is. So this here, we have this nice little image that kind of describes people looking at what some information, what truth, what facts are. Down here, one of the man sees a 6, one of the man sees a 9. He says, just because you are right does not mean I am wrong. You have not seen life from my side. Well, that's nice. That gives us a funny feeling, but that's not a fact. We need to look at it through an empirical way. There's obviously evidence. So I'm going to ask my wonderful wife to read this for us.
Which side?
The black.
It says, but one of those people is wrong. Someone painted a 6 or a 9. They needed to back up and orient themselves, see if there are any other numbers to align with. Maybe there's a driveway or a building to face, or they can ask someone who actually knows. People have an unformed opinion about something they don't understand, and proclaiming their opinion are being equally valid as fact is what is running the world. I can't read that last word.
It says, and what is ruining the world.
Ruining.
And no one wants to do any actual research. They just want to be right. So a lot of the times we will fight with each other over anything just because we feel that we're right and we don't want to be wrong. So different ways that we can learn these things, to learn facts and learn truth, is in education. We start with what we're actually studying. What we study in school or different educational programs, we learn from what we're discussing and what we're understanding in our education programs and how we grow. Also, there's what our kids are learning. With what our kids learn, they bring that information home, and we help them understand what truth is and what that information is. And then how education impacts the society as a whole. There's information in religion. So one thing that we need to learn from religion is that we all need to coexist. We need to learn how truth can all line up and match together. We need to build a basis of matching our religions up together on that truth that we have as a foundation with one another. So to build that basis, we need to understand our own religions, understand the truth that was within our own religions, and then take that and understand the religions of others. As we understand the religions of others and understand our own religions, we can make this world a more peaceful place. And as we make this world a more peaceful place, we can make it a more knowledgeable place. And altogether, it will become a better place. And finally, information in politics, which also controls the world. We have a lot of times in the U.S., we have this. We have one side just fighting the other side. Whereas what we need to have is this, where we have the two different groups, but they're coming together and they're starting to compromise. They're starting to work together because they have an understanding of what the other one wants. When you discuss with most people, all they really want, they want a better world for their children. And so as we build up from that, and we use true and correct information, we can create an informed political process and make the world better. So one thing that is very important to remember is that your vote does matter. An interesting fact is that when the right for voting for women passed, it passed Congress by only one vote. And so it's very important to remember that while you might feel that your vote does not make a very large impact on the national scale, your vote does make an impact for your congressman. So the congressman that you do vote for could have been that one vote that gave women the right to vote, or could have failed to give women the right to vote. So remember, sometimes one vote does make all the difference. Also, it's very important when making those decisions to who you're voting for to be informed about who and what you are voting for. I know a very funny story actually is one time my sister, actually who is a smoker, in California we put a $2 tax on the cartons of cigarettes. And I voted for it because I was not a smoker and it was a way for the state to make revenue. My sister, not paying attention, asked me how I voted. I told her. She followed right along. She was not informed of the law, and she ended up giving herself a $2 tax because she was uninformed. So it's very important to always inform yourself of who and what you're voting for to see how it will impact you. This brings us to the final point of knowing how politics impact you and your family. Do they impact you for good, or do they impact you for worse? Well, here's a very nice quote from Hercules. Just because you do not take an interest in politics does not mean that politics will not take an interest in you. So just because you are uninterested in how the world is working, you might feel that the system is way too corrupt, that it cannot be reformed, it is important to know that that system can change and ruin your life or make it better. And it requires your voice to make it better with that information that you learn to make it better. So remember, information changes the world. So true information makes the world change for a positive way. The more true information that we have, the more informed people that we have in this world, the better world we will have. The more false information that we have, the worse world that we will have. So always remember that we need to work together to come to find what true information will be. Thank you.